Hello, my name is Robin Erwin and I'm here to perform a comprehensive diabetic foot exam on my diabetic patient. As the patient enters the office, the first thing I'm going to do is ask them to remove their socks and shoes so that I can visually inspect their legs and feet. One of the things I'm going to be looking for is edema. I'm going to look to make sure that they don't have any edema, and if they have any, I'm going to evaluate it to see if it's pitting edema. I'm going to look at the skin and the hair and the nails. I'm going to look at the bottom surface of the foot and the top. I'm looking for any sores or ulcerations. I'm going to look between each toe to make sure there's no blisters or sores or cuts that could lead to infection. I'm going to look for physical deformity like hammer toe or clawfoot, because that increases the risk of injury and infection. Then I'm going to perform some sensory evaluation. I'm going to use the monofilament, and what you do is you put the monofilament until it bends on the patient's foot while they have their eyes closed. And what I'm going to ask the patient to do is I'm going to ask you to say, close your eyes, and when I touch you with the monofilament, you say yes. You say that you can feel it.
Yes.
I'm going to touch the large toe, the middle toe, and the small toe. A couple of places on the top of the foot, a couple of places in the arch, and then places near the heel. I'm going to avoid monofilament testing on the callus because the calluses can be insensate, and that's not necessarily an indication of diabetic neuropathy. Then I'm going to use the tuning fork to check vibratory sense perception. So I'm going to first check it on myself to make sure that I can feel it, and I can feel it. And then I'm going to get it going, and I'm going to put it on this bony prominence of her foot. And she has her eyes closed, and she's going to tell me when she cannot feel the vibration anymore.
I can't.
Okay, so she can't. Absence of vibratory perception is a indication of diabetic neuropathy, and with loss of pain perception and sensory perception increases your risk of injury, because if there's an injury or an ulcer or a blister, the patient can't feel it, or they could step on an object and not know that the object had even gone into their foot. I'm going to check the patient's pulses and make sure they have pulses. And she does. I'm going to check a DP and a PT pulse. I'm going to start patient education. I'm going to tell the patient that you need to inspect your feet every night, every day, at least once a day. You've got to make time to do it. You need to wash your feet with a mild soap and water. I'm going to tell them to put moisturizer on the feet, but not between the toes. I'm going to tell her to wear socks and hard-soled shoes all the time. And I'm going to never go barefoot, and to trim your toenails straight across and file them with an emery board so there's no jagged edges. And I'm going to, I need to check straight, so push down against my hand, right, and pull back towards your nose, right. Did you have any problems walking in here? Do you have any problems walking at home? Have you noticed like you're stumbling or tripping? When you get ready to wash your feet, don't just put your feet off in the bath of hot water. Check the water with your elbow to make sure the temperature, because if you start losing sense in your feet, you won't be able to tell if the water's too hot. You could get bad burns. That completes the diabetic foot exam.